Hey everybody, this is GGB. We're going to be getting into our last 12 o'clock game. We got probably one of the more underrated 12 o'clock games. Duke, which is 3-0, traveling to Kansas, which is also 3-0. Kansas favored by 7 on FS1. Let's go over the stats real quick and then what I think of both of these football teams. Riley Leonard for Duke has gone 48-66, thrown for 723 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jalen Coleman on the ground has had 29 carries for 177 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Jalen Calhoun through the air has had 12 catches for 198 yards. Jalen Daniels, this is the game of Jalen's, by the way, for Kansas, gone 47-70, thrown for 566 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He also leads his team on the ground with 27 carries for 237 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lawrence Arnold through the air has had 10 catches for 110 yards. Duke leads the series all-time 2-1. Last 2 games have gone to Duke. Victories in 2014 and 2021. Last time Kansas beat Duke was in 2009. Both these teams are surprise 3-0 football teams, right? A lot of people expected Duke to be probably one of the worst teams in the ACC this year. A lot of people expected Kansas to be the worst team in the Big 12 this year, like they normally are. But Duke has been a huge surprise. Obviously, their first game against Temple, I believe, wasn't a huge surprise that they blew them out. But it wasn't exactly expected either. A lot of people expected Temple to keep it somewhat reasonably close. And then obviously Duke beating Northwestern was a win that a lot of people did not see coming. And then obviously they expected Duke to beat North Carolina A&T last week. But the Duke win for Northwestern was impressive, and it's one that got Duke actually on the map to actually put something beside their 3-0 record up there. Kansas is 3-0, and I think it's an impressive 3-0. Obviously, their victory, I believe they were playing just an FCS week on one opponent. I believe it was North Dakota, but I'm not positive. That was an expected W. It was an expected domination. It was expected domination of a W, right? What a lot of people did not expect is for Kansas to have the grit and effort to beat West Virginia in overtime, and not a bad West Virginia team by any stretch of the imagination. Other than, obviously, the game against Houston was hugely unexpected last weekend. This was a Houston team that was top 25 to start the year. Kansas just came out and dominated them. Just absolutely domination against a Houston team that a lot of people expect to be pretty dang good this year. It's a good Kansas team. And I think we have proven that it's a good Kansas team. While Duke has looked good in their 3 victories, their most impressive victory has been against the Northwestern team that, let's face it, is lackluster. It's a lackluster team. It lost to Southern Illinois, I believe, last weekend. It's not a great football team. Kansas has 2 quality wins over 2 quality football teams. And I think Kansas starts out the season 4-0, guys. And this is crazy, but the Jayhawks look like a pretty dang good football team.